The Weeknd and Bella Hadid, who had a crisis, an actual Hollywood crisis.
I would not make light of this.
Oh, come on, Harvey. You're not going to try and be serious about this. This is a.
I'm going to defend this.
So they went out to dinner. They went to Craig's, one of the hottest restaurants in town, where you always have tons of celebrities. And they went in there on Friday night.
And they spent 5 minutes.
And then they were out.
They spent 5 minutes.
The Weeknd, how's it going, man? I know we got the Oscars coming
up. And 5 minutes later, guess what happens?
Hey, so what are you going to use to open the show to hell out with for the Grammys?
God bless you, man.
Not saying much on the way out, but they were only there for 5 minutes, and the reason is...
He is not having it, and he's not having it
They got a bad table.
Our camera guy talked to some people at the restaurant, and they got a bad table, and they were not they were not happy. It's a very small...
Define bad table.
Okay.
Were they sitting right next to the door? Was there a draft coming in?
Okay, I will define bad table. This is a Hollywood restaurant, and this is where I think you got to understand it. This is a Hollywood restaurant, and where you sit in that restaurant, not to you and not to me, but where you sit in that restaurant really matters to people. And if you're pushed in the back of the restaurant, it establishes pecking order, and image is everything in this town.
So if you're not seated in the center of the restaurant where everybody can see you, then you just...
Do you realize how dumb this sounds?
Ugh.
Like, they're in Craig's to start with, which is a hard restaurant to get into. It's very popular right now.
For a celebrity.
You're in Craig's. If you're there for the food, not so that you can sit next to the front window.
Apparently not, Dax.
No.
And stop thinking like such a non-celebrity normal person.
It's been this way forever in this town. And, you know, we were talking this morning that when Spago first opened on the Sunset Strip, it was a huge thing for big celebrities. You had to be seated by the window. If you didn't have a window table, you didn't go that night. And then you go further back and further back and further back. And I know it sounds ridiculous to you, but this is a town that's built on image.
Can I make a suggestion to the Weeknd that the people that find him to be most popular probably aren't the people who are making those decisions at Craig's.
Well, it just makes you look petty, though.
It's a bit of an older set there, right?
It is a bit of an older set, but look, there are people...
Bella Hadid and the Weeknd are...
You know who goes there all the time? Les Moonves. So whatever you say...
Yeah, there you go, an older set.
But Les Moonves makes judgments. He runs an empire.
Les Moonves doesn't run Craig's.
No, he doesn't.
Okay? So the people who run Craig's are going to recognize Les Moonves and go, hey, he's a big, important guy in town. We're going to put him in the middle. But the Weeknd walks in and they go, oh, it's just some guy with with locks.
You are saying,
and he's got a pretty girl with him. Might be a singer.
Do you have any sense of why this could be important to people, or do you really believe that, or do you think?
I understand. Listen, having lived in this town as long as I have, yes,
you know.
I totally understand.
I feel like you're defending them, Harvey.
But it still doesn't mean it's not petty.
It's their lives.
I understand that that's the reality, but it doesn't mean it's not petty.
But it's their lives. I mean, then image is petty. It's like the way people get treated when they go out. It's just...
I would have to see the actual... In order to really get on board with this, I'd have to see the table, and it would have to be like in the corner, facing the wall or something. Then I'd go, all right, I get why he's offended. But otherwise, this is completely petty.
Hi, this is Tabitha from Indiana, and I just wanted to say, yeah, it does seem a little bit petty, but for these two stars that are, up-and-coming stars, I don't really see any, reason for them not to be offended to be sitting in the back, and they must not have been ready for an Oscar nominee to come in that night.
Well, that's a good point. Also, he is an Oscar nominee.
Yeah, absolutely. But there you go.
For a really, really bad movie.
Okay, whatever.
Probably the best part of the movie.
Probably
the best part of the movie is his song.
The Mater is going to say, oh, your movie was crap, sir.